G'day, welcome back to another episode of TOGL. Good mate of mine, Sean, he asked, how's the roller door going? You haven't given us an update. And I promised him 2 weeks ago that I'd get that update to you, but other things happened and I wasn't up the block. So anyway, I need to give you an update right now. So I did get those brackets that I needed for up the top, and Steve was able to assist me. And now, even though there's a lot of stuff here in the way, but we now have our roller door working. So that's been fantastic. We've been using that a lot to get stuff in and out, and as you know, the shed's all finished being lined, so that's really handy too. It means that we'll be able to store more stuff in there, and I don't have to worry about it getting wet this winter. There'll be no more condensation in there and that sort of thing. Also, if I choose to stay up here, it's a little bit warmer in there now too, because we've insulated it and everything. The other day I did say on the last episode that we went and picked up some windows. I've stacked them up on the side right there. I'll show you those because they are going to become, in time, the front and back of our greenhouse that we're going to build. So let me show you them, and then we're going to go, and I've got some pine trees to plant. I'll explain more about those in a moment. So these were the windows that we got. As you can see, nice high size, and this one at the back you can see is slightly higher. You might be able to notice through the glass there a door handle. So there's actually a door, which is fantastic. It's a ready built frame, so that'll become the front, and this will become the back. And then all we've got to do is, as I've got other windows that we've saved up, I'll just build timber frames. Obviously I can mill my own timber. I'll build timber frames, and we'll make it as long as we decide to make it, but it'll be a nice height. I will put a pitched glass roof on it as well, so even when standing right at the edge, it's still above head height. So it should end up making a really good glass house for us, but that's sometime down the track. So we're just stockpiling at the moment. It was interestingly, when we went to pick this up off the gentleman over near Devonport there, he said, geez, you look familiar. I said, yeah, I get that a lot. And like, honestly, for like the past 10 years or more, I travel a lot, and I must just have one of those faces where people go, I think I know you from somewhere. I think it's just one of those average common faces. Anyway, I then heard he and my wife talking, and they said something about, oh, you know, watch Self-Sufficient Me. And I turned around and went, yeah, excellent, Mark's a good guy, because he has a YouTube channel, Self-Sufficient Me. Learned heaps off of him about gardening. And then it clicked, and I said, do you watch any Tasmanian YouTube stuff? He goes, yeah. I said, have you watched the Tasmanian Off-Grid Living? He goes, yeah, I have. I said, well, that's where you know me from. So that was interesting too. That was on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday, as I said in the last video, about the guy coming up to us at Steamfest. So it's interesting, a lot of people in Tassie are obviously looking to see what other people in Tassie are doing. And I must admit, that's what I tend to do as well. Because we've got a different climate down here. It's good to see how things are being grown and how things are being done. Anyway, let's go and load up these pine trees. They grow pine cones that have the edible pine nuts in them. We bought these probably about a year ago, so they're well and truly seasoned in. They're going to survive. They've been growing really well in the pots, but it's time to get them into the ground. We're going to put them up near the grapevines. Alright, so these are the two pine trees, and as I said, they're not like the pine trees you see in the big pine forests, you know, that are being grown for timber and that. These have those edible pine seeds in the pine cones. So they'll grow quite large over the next several years, which is great. So it means I've got to pick the right place for them, and I think putting these up on the hill up there, somewhere near the grapes, not right beside them of course, they're going to go great up there. So I just got to get this. I've got Thor up here with me at the moment. I'll get him loaded up, and then I need to get a couple of cages to go over these. I don't know whether the wallabies or possums will try and eat this, but we're not taking any risks anymore. We've lost too many plants by planting them thinking, well, possums and wombats, rabbits, whatever, wallabies, all those animals, they won't eat them, and then they do. So let's get these in, and we'll get Thor up. Thor, come here. Ready? Thor, hop! Good boy. Alright, I'll go and get those cages and then we'll head up to the top of the ridge. Okay, so I'm going to put one here up on this nice slope. The grapes are just over behind us. The other one just a bit further back. I've got my cages ready, and to hold the cages down, for those of you who remember when I built the bridge and I went and I pulled all of these are the climbing spikes that go into the side of the telegraph poles. When I went and got those telegraph poles for that bridge, I took a lot of these out. They make fantastic pegs for pegging down these wire cages when I put them around our trees. So yeah, just very quickly I'll dig the 2 holes and get these pine trees planted. Then I've got to get on with some milling. So there's a couple of particular logs I need to go and get. I'll explain more about them later. And I don't know if you can see Thor there. He is fascinated by rocks, always has been, and he's just found himself a rock. What do you got? What's that? Huge rocks like this, he just picks them up. He goes and finds them in the creek, he finds them wherever, digs them, picks them up. It's a wonder he's got any teeth left. Look at the focus. Wants me to throw it for him. Alright, I better get to digging these holes. See, it has become a little bit root bound. Just need to loosen that up a bit around the edges. Give those roots a good chance to grow and settle in. So, that crunching is his teeth on that rock. Might have to see if I've got a ball in the car for him to distract him. Well, that's one in anyway. That cage on top. Alright. Head down. As the ground settles back in, it'll seal up around these pegs where it's on the softer dirt. Over here, it should be on the harder dirt. No, that's still a soft dirt too. I dug a fairly large hole for this one. But loosening up all that soil will enable the roots to grow quicker into the surrounding soil, which is a good thing. Alright, but that should be enough to stop any wallabies and possums getting that tree. And there we have it. That didn't take long. Both of our pine trees planted in up here. And then we have the grapes just over the other, just behind the ridge there. The grapes are just there, in behind that tree. Come on, Thor, let's go. Come on, leave your rock. Come on. Come on. He's got his paw on it. He doesn't want to let it go. Come on, heel. I'll bring my rock with me, he says. All right, Thor, hop, hop. All right. He needs a run up. Come here, come here, come here, come here. All right. Hop. Quick, hop. Oh, you lazy dog. Come here. He's probably worn out from chasing the rock. Okay, go. Hop, quick. Go. Oh, I'm gonna have to pick him up. You lazy dog. Okay, this is the tree, the one over the back here, that I'm going to use to mill up this timber. So a friend of mine, their daughter is doing a house renovation, and they needed a few, not beams, but just timbers. So I'm going to mill it up out of this for them. So I'll just chop off this end right near the root ball. This bottom part should be the strongest, most structurally sound part. This tree came down over a year ago, and yeah, I'll trim it off to about the 2.6 metre mark, so I need the pieces to be 2.4 metres long. We'll give a little bit of excess and chop off either end. So yeah, I'll get stuck into that. I'll basically chop the 2.6 out, and then I'll hook it up to the car winch, drag it up here onto the road, get the bark off it, and then I'll get the tractor. I'll bring the tractor up and I'll take it back down to the mill and we'll get milling. So now to get this log out, what I'm going to do is try and drag it over all that other timber there and behind that tree. So we'll see how we go. So I'm hoping it just pushes the root ball out the way there. That. Now, biggest issue, part of the issue is that I've just snapped that piece out, but that's probably just a sapwood anyway. But it looks like it might actually hang up on that tree, and I didn't bring the cantilever to roll it out the way. So we'll see if it moves on it. Nope. I might be able to roll it myself. We'll see how I go. Well, I didn't have my cantilever, obviously, but I did find that fairly straight stick, able to wedge it under. I've moved it across. It's now almost all the way past. As I winch in, I will just push that branch up and leave it across that a little bit more if needed. Let's see how we go anyway. No, it's going to go behind without me giving it that last push, so that's good. Oh, here, heel. And that there is a 2.6 metre log. Time to clean the bark off it, and then like I said, go get the tractor to take it down to the mill. I don't want to drag it in the dirt because I don't want the dirt getting into the timber. Not so much for the timber, but it'll blunten the blade a lot quicker on the bandsaw. So if I can get the bark off it and lift it nicely, that'll be so much better. Thor's back to his usual antics, digging up rocks. Thor, you silly boy. Joys of taking the bark off a tree that's been down for a year or more. That bark just comes straight off. Beautiful. Makes my life a lot easier, that's for sure. We've got the log down here now, into place. Now you can see that on this end there is a crack starting, so I've put that horizontal, close to horizontal anyway. And that's because then hopefully I can cut it so that I can get pieces out of the top and bottom, above and below that crack. That crack is right through the centre. I would normally run a cut right through the centre anyway. So yeah, we'll get the mill started up and we'll see how we go cutting this way. Hopefully we get some usable wood out of it. It's a bit cooler and breezier up here this afternoon, but Kay's been doing a really good job keeping an eye on all the classifieds, and especially things like the freebies. We've managed to get a couple of ute loads of gravel, which we've put on the road. I'll show you that later. I didn't film me putting it down, but there's two reasonable lengths, which is great. I've just put it on the slopes where it gets a bit slippery, especially seeing as how we'll be getting that rain in the next few months. It'll really start coming down, so that gravel will be handy. One of the other things that she managed to find as well, 20 bucks for a big length of concrete pipe, which is fantastic. So and very cheap for concrete pipe. So what I've done is I've put a strap right through the middle, and I'm going to get that hooked up to the tractor, and then I'm going to pop that in just over near the base of that blackwood tree over there. I've actually got a pipe that runs across the road, but it was a bit short, so I'm going to drop it in there. So we'll get that hooked up and get it put into place. That'll be the first of many tasks that I want to get accomplished up here this afternoon, finishing off with a little wallaby shoot. So I will forewarn you of when that is going to happen. It'll be right towards the end of the video, so don't worry about that. Anyway, let's get this pipe loaded. Now, you'll notice that I sat it on top of the pipe up there, and that was so I could get the strap out. Then all I need to do, because this is really heavy, is just drag it a little bit, it'll drop into place. Like that. There we have it. Now, there is a slight bit of dirt that's been washed up into there, and so it's not quite going in, because this pipe should fit inside that other one. So I'm going to have to roll this out, scrape a bit of dirt, and then get it pushed back in. Lifting one end shouldn't be too hard anyway. It may have even been that block of dirt there, but Now she's in place. Now I can actually cover this with dirt and make this roadway just a little bit wider here. Okay, so my last task for today, before I go and have some dinner, go out and do that wallaby hunt, is I need some firewood. So I'm trying to season all of that wood that I cut the other day, all those beams. So I've got them at home in the shed. We've got a pot belly in there. If I can keep it nice and warm, firewood's free, so I might as well use it. And basically I'll make the shed into like a kiln, dry that timber out just that little bit more, make sure that it's not going to bow or buckle. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this was a blackwood. This was pushed down over a year ago when the road was put through, so I'll be wearing the mask for this one. And I'm just going to start chopping all this up, load it into the back of the ute so that I've got plenty to burn at home. So best I go get geared up. Well, half an hour of chainsawing, had a full tank of fuel, and I have reduced most of that pile down to manageable blocks. There's still a couple of long big logs in there, but they're right on the ground. I was trying to cut everything that was above the ground so that I didn't touch the ground with the chainsaw blade. It's a new chainsaw chain, so it's nice and sharp. As soon as you touch the ground it bluntens, and after that you just never get it as sharp. So I'm enjoying having a really good sharp chain. For as long as I can, I will not touch the ground. So everything that was up, raised, chopped all down. Now for the hard part though, I mean that raised the sweat, but now I've got to load as much of that as I can into the ute and then get it home. But I've been wanting to clear this out of this paddock for a long time, so I'm glad we're halfway there. What I'll do for the other logs later on another day, I'll come up with the tractor, throw a sling around a log and lift it up, and then I'll just keep chopping pieces off. And that way again I won't be anywhere near the ground. I'm not going to risk touching the ground with the chain, that is. So anyway, time to load up and then it'll be dinner time. Kay's made me some lovely chow mein. I just need to go and heat it up, and then we'll wait for the sun to set. I'll go and pop a couple of wallabies. Alright, load up. Now I did actually say to you before I would show you where I'd put this gravel down that we managed to get for free. So I thought before the light fades I'd better show you that. I drove over on the way back from getting all that wood loaded up and thought, yep, so where it is. Going up from the bridge. This is one of two trouble spots that we've had. In previous videos you've seen me get stuck on this slope and have to winch off of the trees and that, because this slope gets very slippery with the clay. So now we've got this really good blue metal, I think they call it, and I've just done it to make it go further. I just did the 2 strips. You don't need gravel in the middle, there's no wheels in the middle, you just need it on the left and the right. So this will not only help us get out, I mean I could always winch out if I got stuck, but the bigger issue that we have is when we're coming into the block when it's wet, because as you'll see, I will turn around, and if I'm coming down here and start to slide, because the road kinks left, there's a very good chance I would end up over there into that tree. So I really needed the traction here on this gravel. But yeah, fantastic gravel, and this was 1 ute load. The other section is over on the other steep area where I had to dig that trench last year to stop the water seeping over. So yeah, that's the gravel. Not bad for free. And the second load, I didn't even have to shovel it in because they had a bobcat there and they were able to just load it up. So I only had to worry about raking it out. But anyway, yeah, that was a really good score. That was another good find by Kay. She's just been scanning through, you know, Facebook classifieds and Gumtree and whatnot, finding all sorts of really cool stuff for us. So anyway, as I said, I've loaded up that timber now. Time for me to warm up my dinner and have something to eat. Enjoy the peace and quiet here. How's the serenity, eh? It's so peaceful down here at the moment. I love this time of day too. Hey, listen, while I got you, I do have to make a confession. It was pointed out to me that I actually chose the winner of the pepperberries from the wrong video, the comments on the wrong video. So apologies for that. I've already spoken to Pete. He's not going to miss out. I will honour that, and Pete will get his pepperberries. We've already spoken. But I need to draw a comment from the correct video, the one that you all put comments on. So let's go see who the next winner is. The real winner, nothing to take away from Pete, but let's see who the winner is from the correct video. All right, so let's pick this winner. I've got the right link in there this time, and there we go, Wally Elphingston. And he put his comment in there, the pepperberries look great in the dehydrator. They do, but I tell you what, they smell even better. So congratulations, Wally. Reach out to me so that I can get these pepperberries to you. All right, fantastic. So congratulations. Well, like I said, I'm just going to have some dinner. The very next thing is, as soon as it gets dark, we're going to go out for a little bit of a hunt. So if you don't like to see wallabies getting shot, it's in black and white, it's in night vision, there'll be no blood or anything. This is probably the end of the video for you guys, so turn it off. But otherwise, you know, like I said, this isn't just out there pointlessly killing things. We do this to get food. Food for us, food for the dogs. So my goal is to take only 4 tonight. There's wallabies everywhere around here, hundreds of them. I just want to take 4. That'll get us for the next few weeks. Anyway, hang about if you want to see that, and if not, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see those of you who are tuning out now next week. Tell you what, that temperature really drops fast when that sun goes down. She's getting cool. Anyway, for those of you who have not seen one of the videos where I go and do some hunting, this is the rifle that I like to shoot with. It's a American CZ223 rifle. It's got an ATN night vision scope on it, and that's what you'll see some of this footage with. That's the size bullet, 223 bullet that it shoots. Probably a bit of an overkill for a wallaby, but if you hit it in the head, which I do 9 times out of 10, that little sucker doesn't even know what's happened. Like, it's just instant lights out. So no pain, no misery, that sucker's gone. That's how I like to, if I'm going to take an animal, that's how I like to do it, just lights out. So yeah, but I'm really comfortable with this rifle. I really like it. I'm reasonably accurate with it now. I like to think I'm very accurate with it now. and so that's why I just like to keep shooting with this rifle. Anyway, I need to get these magazines loaded up, and then we'll go out, and the next footage you'll see will be a couple of wallabies being taken. After that it'll be too dark for me to film and I'm not going to film the cleanup and that anyway, so I will see you guys tomorrow back down at the house. That one's only a baby. We'll let it grow up to be a big one. Looks like another small one. And Daddy. That's that baby from before. He looks slightly bigger, still not huge. Yeah, no, that's only a... I'll leave him to grow up, get a bit bigger yet as well. It's his lucky day. Okay, well, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed that, and I must apologise for not having as much of the actual shooting footage there. I keep forgetting to actually hit record on the scope. There is a setting on it that I do need to set up actually, which is that it will record 10 seconds prior to feeling the recoil of the rifle being shot. I need to set that up because then I never have to worry about hitting record, so I'll work on getting that done. But I did end up getting a couple more wallabies that night, which was really good. As you can see, I've got all that timber here. It's drying because I've got the fireplace right here. So keeping that warm, burning all that wood that I chopped up, and that'll season over the next couple of weeks. Anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. So have a great weekend. Take care. Have a great week next week. I'll see you guys on Friday. Cheers.